For the last 3 years, I've been looking for a really special whitetail. In order to qualify as a shooter in my books, he has to meet one of two criteria: 180 inches or have an undefinable wow factor. I decided I was going to put myself in the best position by buying a camper so I could live remotely in the northern Alberta wilderness for all of November. Temperatures are freezing cold, and I just know we're going to see some big slammers. Let's go hunting. Morning everyone. Welcome back to Shane Hunts. Today is November the 8th. Not sure where we're going, not sure what we're hunting. We got trail cameras to check. Let's get going. So I'm out cruising around. I'm gonna go check my trail cameras. I'm seeing a really nice buck, a nice bull moose, and then all of a sudden I see something 180 yards off the road. This is day one. I just saw that absolute giant whitetail. Absolute giant. I just got permission on an adjacent quarter section of property. I'm gonna see if I can go in there and make a play on this buck. Okay, I'm into this quarter right now. He was for sure heading down this way. Holy, we're gonna get ourselves tucked back at the back end of this quarter section. This is where we're gonna hunt the rest of this trip. Day one, and that guy pops out. Are you kidding me? That little buck that we're just watching here right now is about 200 yards away right now, but we're gonna watch him because we can learn a lot about what the deer are doing by what he's gonna do. He was out in the same field that we saw that animal. We're gonna keep watching him and see where he enters the woods, and based on where he enters the woods, we're gonna set up both tonight, tomorrow, the next day, and the next day, or the rest of eternity until we find that deer. So this buck goes into the woods. He saunters back out and he says, actually, I'd like a little bit more of a close-up, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's enough. Okay, oh, things are getting sketchy. Okay, I'm out of here. See ya, bye. It's funny, this morning I woke up and I didn't even know where I was going hunting. I checked a trail camera last night and there was nothing on it. So I decided to take a cruise to check a couple of my other trail cameras. And on the way, you run into something like that. That's a beautiful buck. Hey guys, well, we've been walking around in here for the last couple hours anyway. As the crow flies, we're about 600, 700 meters from where we saw that buck this morning. He's definitely back here. He's got rubs and scrapes everywhere. There's trees all beat up and stuff, so this is where I would hang out. Just a little secluded pathway between fields. We might start heading out of here. I don't want to stir anything up more than I have to. After we're done our morning hunt, we'll set up for the next few days. Good morning, everybody. It's about 7:15 right now on November 9th. We are starting our hike back to the spot that we saw that really nice deer yesterday. Kind of having second guesses about whether or not he's big enough. But I think that's crazy dog. He's a beautiful deer, so we'll see if we can get a look at him in real life again. I see a deer now, and they were spooked, and I was wondering why they were spooked. I see no less than 2 coyotes that are all perched on top of hay bales out here. That doe is just staring down those 2 coyotes. Well, you guys, we had that little buck come by. He was really spooked out by the amount of coyotes that are in this field right now, and I know that that buck was one of 3 out in the field yesterday. He's here, that's a good sign. And then I saw another buck yesterday, so definitely some sort of travel corridor happening through here. They like this field, so that's good. So I think for this morning we're going to pack it up. Those coyotes were howling like crazy this morning, and then we have this equipment over here as well, and so lots of chaos in the woods today. That being said, I think that it's a wicked spot. I just think that everything needs to settle down a little bit. For right now, we're gonna go grab a coffee first and foremost. We have 3 other trail cameras to edit our spot with that drop tine from last year. We did get pictures of that drop tine earlier this year, about a month ago. Honestly, I think he's dropped down the hit list. Do people even say that? The hit list. He was big last year, but he didn't grow a whole bunch this year. Hopefully we got some more pictures of him. But at this point, we're still looking at that non-typical. That's like our number 1 buck. And then we also have that buck a few kilometers away from here. Used to be a 12 point, used to be a 6x6. Now he's like a really long mainframe 5x5. It's a really nice buck as long as he's wide enough, but so we got options. That's a good thing. So we got options. We're back at the piece of property that has the drop tine. We're gonna check these 3 trail cameras that we have here, see if we can get a better idea what that drop tine looks like, and see also what else might be on this quarter.
Okay, that's enough. Okay, oh, things are getting sketchy. Okay, I'm out of here. See ya, bye.
Well, I had 3 trail cameras on this quarter, and now I have 1 left. I mark all of my cameras so I know where they are on iHunter, so I never lose track of them. And they're gone. Frustrating, disappointing. Don't be that person. This is definitely more like the November weather that you look forward to. I think it's got colder since I've been out here, actually. Really nice day. It's about 9 o'clock now. We've been watching this field and not much happening except for that buck. It's been about an hour and a half-ish. Gonna start making our way around the outside of this field. Where that buck ran into is also where another buck went in yesterday, so I want to do some recon on that little section of bush in there just to see if anything's moving in through there. This elk has not given up all morning. Since before legal light, he's been in here, kicking it, singing, chilling. It's 8:08, so I guess half an hour beyond legal light, he's still been bugling. He's heading over our direction right now. He's responding to everything. He's responding to the coyotes. Our logging friends are back at it again today. He's responding to their beeps. I don't know if it's their backup. Whatever, I have no idea what it is. I bet you if I called out to him and said, "Hey pal," he'd answer back. Well, you guys, the fog has lifted. It's pretty crazy. It was like 5 minutes and everything just dispersed. That elk, if you just heard him, he's still going at it. It's like 9:30. For whatever reason, not seeing any deer. We actually haven't seen a good buck in a couple of days, which is really weird for this time of the year. I'm expecting it's just a little lull. It won't be forever, but kind of sucks right now. Surely something's gonna slip by at some point. Try and get a shot at something, but nothing yet.
So I'm looking out across the field, and I see this brown blob up here. I knew it was a buck because I could see the glimmering on his antlers from that far out, but I thought it was one of the bucks that we had seen earlier, one of the smaller deer. And so I'm watching him and watching him and watching him, and I start to think to myself, I don't know if that's the same deer. And as this buck is walking towards me, he turns his head just a tiny little bit, and then I realized this was definitely not the same deer. This was a slammer. I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that my rifle is capable of making that shot at 500 yards. But for me, I've never practiced a shot that far. I decide to just hang tight in hopes that this buck will continue to make his way towards me inside the tree line.
He just came out of nowhere. He was cruising across that field. That's right where I was sitting the other night. He looked like he had some stickers on. I never got a super good look at him. He was quite far. I'd say he's probably 500 yards away.
I quickly review the footage I took.
That buck was really big. He's gonna be traveling right down in front of us, or he's gone forever. We're gonna try doing some rattling. If we can try and pull him over, he would make all our dreams come true. Trying to think of what I could have done differently. Oh God. Well, he hasn't come back. Will he ever come back? Probably not. What else can you do? Cry? Son of a gun.
Oh well, I'm over it. Gotta have a memory like a goldfish when you're whitetail hunting. On the plus side, I definitely knew that I was in the right spot. I definitely knew that I was in the right spot. For like the next week, I was seeing deer consistently every morning, every evening, and it seemed that every single day these deer just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Whoa, 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 too big. Thanks for coming though. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, you had an opportunity at a really nice whitetail, it didn't work out, whatever. Surely, if you have another opportunity at a really nice buck, things are going to work out, right?
Alright, you guys, set up in here. November the 19th. Evening hunt. My last hunt as a 33-year-old man. It's my B-day tomorrow. I'd be very happy if we could just get it done tonight. Okay? We're out here today, of course, joined by our co-host of Shane Hunts and guest star, bloggers in the background, who have been ever so kind to join me every single day that I've been out here. No hate, fellas and ladies, or who's ever over there. Just cut it off an hour before dark, okay? Maybe tonight's our night.
Alright, so I'll be totally honest. I was actually on my phone when this buck walked into this clearing. I was actually booking a doggy daycare for my dog. Anyway, here nor there. I'm looking and I see, okay, this is a really good frame. At 80 yards, I can clearly see that he's at least a 4x4, but I'm struggling to count what else he might have. I'm operating my binos, my camera, all the while trying to shoulder my rifle so that if this buck comes any closer, I'm not going to spook him. So I'm watching, and I'm watching, and I'm watching. As he was tucked right back in behind that brush, I still couldn't get a good look at his antlers. I could see a huge body, and I knew that he was a big deer, but I didn't know just how big he was. He comes into 60 yards. I count 5 points, 6 points on each side. He's got double forked G2s. This is a shooter. We're gonna take him. And as he pops perfectly into my crosshairs, my camera goes out of focus. And then he makes a move that only this buck has made. He goes into a trail that has never been traveled before, and instead of walking directly by me like every other deer, he starts walking away. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Take a hard left. Sir, please, come back, please, sir.
Safety was off. He was behind those bushes. And the camera didn't have a clear shot. I can't believe that. That was a slammer.
I quickly review the footage I took.
I don't know if I've said the F word, and I'm not talking about frog, more times than I have in the last half an hour. I had a shot. When I had a shot, the camera couldn't see him. When the camera could see him, I didn't have a shot. So you want to film your hunts? Is that what you're ready to give up? To film your hunts? Well, you guys, it's been about 40 minutes since that happened. What else can you do? You can't think about it for the rest of your life. Okay? You gotta move on. He wasn't that big anyway. By the time I realized how big he was and that he was a shooter, either you couldn't see or I couldn't see. Not that I'm blaming this on you. Whoa. Pump the brakes. But it is your fault. If you have a shot, shoot. Don't worry about the camera. Shoot. morning, everyone. It's my birthday today. For as long as I've been hunting, since I could walk, I've never tagged a buck on my birthday. Gonna be a nice morning to get out, doing what I love. If I can mix that into what I get to do for my B-day, then I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, it's probably minus 15 right now. It's actually pretty freaking cold. Plus this wind is making things even worse. I just got out of the truck and I'm already feeling chilly. We get in there and we get set up. Hopefully we'll see something this morning. Shower, sleeping in a warm bed, and a good night's sleep, and be back at it here in a couple days to put on the final leg of deer season. So we'll talk to you guys in a couple of days. Hi guys, we're back. We got some rest back home. We took a full day off yesterday, travel day and everything like that. Had an opportunity to sleep in a nice warm bed, spent some time with my honey and my dog, and we're back at it again. We got fresh snowfall out here. Gonna start making our trek into the stand, like a kilometer and a bit. Hopefully something happens today. I wouldn't hate if we got a big buck today.
You know what I wish you could do? I wish you could contract out owls to look for big bucks for you. That'd be awesome. Anyway. It's freezing cold. I'm out every morning at least an hour before daylight. I'm hunting every night until dark. And there's some days that I'm putting in full days in the stand. We're spending a lot of time scouting around during the afternoon hours when we're not in the stand. Seeing a lot of really awesome animals. And when we're sitting in the stand, we're still consistently seeing deer. If I'm being honest, I can start to feel the pressure really mounting. Well, what was it that I said about whitetail hunting again? That you had to have the memory of a goldfish or something? I don't know. I can't quite remember. Oh, hey pal.
Well, you guys, the day has come. Today is the final day of whitetail deer hunting in Alberta. It's November 30th today. It is the coldest day in my life. Woke up and it's minus 21, feels like minus 30. Whatever happens today, I do know is we did everything that we possibly could this year to make getting a deer happen, and I'm kind of at peace with what happens today. I don't think I've ever had a better whitetail season in the woods. I've had so much time to go out there and think and reflect. No matter what happens with this whitetail, I'm going home a happy guy. Let's go freeze our keisters off for one more time. I just happened to look behind me for like 2 seconds. There was a doe and 2 fawns. I didn't have enough time to get the camera on them, but my other camera might pick it up. Didn't hear anything. Just randomly. Couldn't believe that I saw them. Sneaky. Coming out of the woods right now, I just got a fresh whitetail track. Giant track. It just goes to show you about how these bucks get this big. This buck took the most impossible trail. There's like 500 game trails in here. And he walked on a trail that was like, he must be the first animal to ever walk it. Decided to follow this buck track. That's the clearing I was hunting. 50 yards that way. Brand new tracks from this morning. He created his own trail back here. Big bucks are like a different species.
So right beside this buck's bed, there was like a log that was like 2.5 feet off the ground. And instead of this buck jumping this log to get to the thick, heavy timber, in order to stay out of sight, this buck actually chose to go underneath this log. Crazy.
If there's a sign that's everything is telling you to go home, I think I've seen all of them so far. That buck track that I followed, I was getting all excited. I hit his bed. I was getting all kinds of fresh tracks. And I was like, oh, I'm right on him. I'm right on him. I'm right on him. And I wasn't paying attention to where I was going. I just kept following it and kept following it. And then it busts out into a clear cut, a clearing. I'm like, okay, here we go. Here's my chance to get a look at him. The clearing is where my truck is parked. This buck walked all the way through the thickest bush in all of Alberta and walked right by my truck. And then I'm guessing he went across the road into a piece of property that I don't have permission in. Alright, you guys, well, this is where you pray to whoever you believe in for something to happen. We erred away from our plan after bumping around in there. I know that I bumped that buck. You could tell by the tracks that he was making after his bed. He was cruising, he was not loving it there, and so I'm not taking a chance there. So I figured I would roll the dice somewhere else. I hate this because I feel like I already know what's gonna happen. It ain't over till it's over. Let's keep at it. Truly, we need some luck.
I'm looking, and I'm looking. And then finally, literally with 2 minutes of light left to spare, I see deer crossing the field. It's a doe and 2 fawns.
Well, that's it. That's it for us for this year, for whitetail season 2024. Didn't get it done this year, but I've seen a lot of people that got some really nice bucks this year. Congratulations to you guys. Certainly this is the hardest I've ever hunted in my life. I have well over 100 hours in the woods, and that's just sitting in the woods alone. That's not including drive time or anything else or scouting or anything. That's just like blind sitting. Since the first week of November, I have lived in a camper. There's no heat. I'm using my truck as like a warming hut. It's getting up to like down to like minus 30 degrees at night. It's been such a grind. Super proud of how this season has gone. It wasn't the outcome that I wanted, of course, but like I said before, I think I'm more disappointed that the season is over than I am about not taking a buck. I enjoy myself so much out there that I think that I could do this for a living. I love whitetail hunting more than anything in the world. Seeing what we had an opportunity to see, some people will never see that. I think that I'm very lucky to be able to see that. So thank you again for watching. I'm really looking forward to getting home. Looking forward to seeing my puppy and getting a nice hot meal. Emma.
Yeah?
Thinking, why don't we make that soup that I've become really great at making over the last 3 years? I think we have all the ingredients. Let's get to it. First thing you want to do is put in what you've been eating for supper for the last 3 months. Costco deals, wagon wheels. Next, we need some base broth. A dash of hunter tears.
I think so.
Cheddar. It's looking pretty good. Smelling great. The aroma in the house. A little bitter. I think there's only one more thing that we can put in this soup for it to be totally ready to go and ready to eat. I don't know about you, but I'm getting hungry. I've been hungry for 3 years. Secret ingredients. The secret end of season soup ingredients.
You guys know these.
Are you ready to eat?
I think so.